Candidates 2024 kicked off in Toronto on the wee hours of April 5, and 8 games were played both in the open section and in the women's category, and we had only one winner. That too came in the women's section. All the men's games ended in draws. Vidit Gujarati drew with D. Gukesh, Pragnananda drew with Alireza Firoza, although he was dominating, but yet he couldn't push the initiative, and that is why he held on for a 51 move draw. Now, when the candidates tournament started, on the sidelines of it, Magnus Carlsen gave an interview to chess.com. He was asked what are the chances for each of the candidates, and especially he had some very interesting things to say about the 3 Indian grandmasters who were there in the candidates in the open category: Vidit, Gukesh and Pragnananda. Out of all the 3, he has rated Pragnananda's chances as high when he is trying to win the candidates. But there is also a word of caution. Carlsen has said none of the Indians will win the candidates 2024, because he has given reasons also as to why this has happened. As you all know, Magnus Carlsen is not part of the candidates 2024. He won the World Cup, but due to lack of motivation and also because he did not agree with the format, both in the candidates as well as in the World Championships, he decided that he was not going to play. And because of Carlsen's absence, Nijat Abbasov of Azerbaijan has gotten the go-ahead because he finished 4th in the World Cup, but Abbasov made it because Carlsen did not participate. So, what has Carlsen said about our 3 Indian grandmasters? The first I would like to focus on is Pragnananda. Carlsen has stated, don't think Prag is ready to win the tournament. Not seeing it going poorly also for him. Somewhere in the middle, it's in the middling ground for Pragnananda. Stable psychologically, he stated ever since he is playing in the last 2 to 3 years, Pragnananda's ability to handle pressure has improved, according to Magnus Carlsen. The Chess World Cup is a classic case. He beat Hikaru Nakamura, he beat Fabiano Caruana, but most of those wins came in rapid. In the classical format, he held them to a draw. Against Carlsen too, he took them to the rapids, but unfortunately, Carlsen's a different beast when you look at it. So that's why he's stable psychologically, improving his repertoire, and is very, very serious about it. The range of openings that he's had in the past 2 years is a big testament to Pragnananda's improvement. So, if you look at what Carlsen said for Pragnananda, the chances of him winning the candidates are actually better than some of them. But on Gukesh, he said that it might go rather badly for him because he believes Gukesh has the capability to win a couple of good games, but can have bad losses also. He is talking about the time when Gukesh played in the freestyle 960 chess tournament in Wesenhaus. At that time, he beat Carlsen and English, but then had a huge slump. And drawing from that experience, he believes that Gukesh will have good wins, but will also have bad losses. May not do poorly, but might not do well. Not ready to make the leap, will have a bad event. Carlsen believes that Gukesh will have a bad event because somewhere down the line he is not able to maintain the consistency. Pragnananda does it better. What has he said about Vidit? Vidit has improved psychologically, did poorly in Prague, has the capacity to make a good score but will not win the tournament. Like the way he plays. So, he has given a rather good review of Vidit Gujarati also. But you have seen Vidit as far as his performances are concerned. After winning Grand Swiss, he did very badly in Prague, and that was one of the build-ups to the candidates tournament. If you have a poor build-up, it can impact you psychologically. And there was a very viral video in which Vidit blundered, and the reaction after that was that, what have I done? So, that's why Vidit does tend to blunder consistently. But he does hold his own also. Grand Swiss, he won it primarily because his consistency was superb. But who does Carlsen back to win? He has 3 contenders basically who can win the tournament: Fabiano Caruana, Hikaru Nakamura and Jan Nepomniachtchi. Now, Nepomniachtchi is a legend if you look at it in the candidates. I mean, he won the candidates once and he went through to the challenge to face Carlsen, but Carlsen withdrew, and that's why Ding Liren and Jan Nepomniachtchi spat out. He has had great success qualifying in 3 of the last 4 candidates in that sense. Caruana and Nakamura from the US are really been the most consistent players on the circuit at this point. So that's why going past them is going to be very hard. And if you look at today's fixtures, Vidit is facing Nakamura. Pragnananda is facing Gukesh. And that's why as the tournament progresses, double round robin, it might get difficult for them. Now, India's chances, see, if you look at it, 3 out of the 8 are Indians in the open section. 2 out of the 8 are in the female section. That's why chances are there, but the nature of the tournament is such, pressure might get the better of the Indian contingent. But if you look at the one performance rating parameter that actually defies what Carlsen has stated, because in the entire 1 year period, if you look at Pragnananda's performance rating, PR for short form, his performance rating is 2791. This is different from the FIDE ranking point that is there. He has performed even better than Caruana because he's won tournaments, he's won against big players consistently. There is a very complicated equation for determining the PR, the performance rating. But the simple understanding, if you want, what is performance rating? Level a player performed at in a tournament or match based on the number of games he has played against the quality of the opponents. So if the tournament rating is higher, he's got a rating of 2700, but he beats players in 2800, 2750 ELO, then his performance rating increases. It is like clutching onto straws, agreed, but in chess, whatever psychologically you can gain the advantage, you can do that. So for India, Pragnananda has the best performance rating, even better than Nakamura, even better than Caruana. So that's why Prag's chances are high. Carlsen's also said, yes, he looks the best to win the candidates if that happens. And if that incident happens, then boy, Pragnananda will be in an elite category, because the youngest ever to win the candidates tournament ever since it was started in Budapest 1950 has been Bobby Fischer at the age of 17. Pragnananda can very well join that list, but as of now, the tournament has just begun. Lots of obstacles and difficulties are coming up. We hope the Indian contingent can ace it this time around. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon when we go live. Bye-bye.